Here we go.
We're just checking different outfits.
We're gonna check the formerly owned Vigo's people. Oh, so okay. So there's two characters that has to do with the blight. So they were not assistants to the blight himself. Blight found a journal. There's a few unnamed characters that have yet to show up in other things. Although now that I think about it, we might know who Benedict Baker is, which we'll get to that in a second. There's Talbot Grimes, the alchemist, who eventually became the Blight. But before Talbot became the Blight, he was a survivor.
He was how?
They've been you can become a killer eventually if you're driven mad enough.
Oh yeah, that you've been playing the game long, or that you've been stuck in the game long enough that you become
a killer. Yeah, and so that's what happened with Talbot. But we'll get to him later.
Well, that's an interesting analysis in and of itself. That like you're stuck being forced to play the victim for so long that you're then.
Well, even before he becomes he becomes a killer. So you missed it. I'll show you this. Pause. So first we'll do this. There is a journal that Blight / the Alchemist found by some guy named Vigo. Now Vigo appears on several of the offerings, and he appears like on a lot of item descriptions. We don't know who he is, but he's the one that discovered the serum that turned the Blight into the Blight. And the Blight found his journal and decided to continue his work. So when we wear this out, so Claudette, at some point in her time here in the Entity's realm, because time does not matter, she was Vigo's assistant. Because, of course she was. Formerly owned by... Go ahead.
I just think that makes sense with like the botany thing.
Yeah. Formerly owned by an apothecary who used alchemy to obtain chemical and herbal ingredients from a prime material. The prime material being the flowers from the Blight event. Two large braids tucked into each other to create a crown that keeps the natural hair tucked away during experiments. Old apron soiled by secretions, sap, and other unidentified liquids. Comes with alchemical tools such as cornea scalpels, tongue scrapers, and rusty stitching needles. Tomboyish garments adorned with a pair of sleek high-top laced-up boots. So what I'm about to say is unconfirmed. Yeah, I'm going to say it anyways. Hold on. This guy is the archivist. We have no idea who he is besides being the archivist, being the guy who is writing down all the stories about all the bits of lore that we find about all the characters.
He moves through the death and decay of the...
That's his voice. And all these bits of lore are supposedly written by him. He uses this thing to read the memories of people who are trapped in the Entity's realm. And he also, like, each tome actually has a little bit of, like, general game lore, which we'll find. We don't know his name. For all we know, this is Benedict Baker.
Oh, okay. But, I mean, Benedict Baker was really kind of losing it, and he said that he was not going to, like, keep any more journal entries.
True. That you just debunked my theory like that, asshole. I'm just kidding.
I what?
How dare? So
How
that's
dare
a
I?
that's a character. I want to show you. So this is from the original. So these were not originally part of the. This was before the archives were the year before the archives were released. This is from the first Halloween event. I just want to show you this video clip, just so you get an idea of what the Blight was up to before he.
Is that the Wraith?
That is the Trapper.
Oh.
That is the Trapper chained up to a wall with chemicals being pumped into him. And that's the kind of thing that gave the Wraith what he looked like. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, that like molten. Yeah.
So even before Talbot Grimes stopped playing the victim, he stopped playing the victim. Even before he became a killer, he had already usurped the role of killer. Until it took his mental degeneration for him to actually become one. Caused by the mental degeneration caused by the serum. Which we'll get to that. The reason why I bring up Blight is that he actually has some lore in this tome as well. So we're going to be, when we get to Blight for real, we're going to have a lot of information about him. Because the game has been giving him, the game has been releasing lore about the Blight for 3 years.
That's right. They've really built this villain up, and that was sort of the underwhelming nature of it for a lot of people, right?
Yeah, the underwhelming nature of his power. But, you know, in hindsight, the power is really fun. And it does bring a new idea to the game. It's just when you think of this backstory of this guy who literally captured the killers, who overwhelmed reversed the tables, turned the tables in his favor, and experimented and created substances. His power eventually amounts to him drugging himself constantly and running into walls. Which on first note is like, oh man, that's disappointing. But then you think about it, that's exactly what he would become.
Yeah, that he would essentially go mad.
Yeah.
That does make the most sense.
So.
It also kind of makes sense in this way of that, like, he's going to literally, like, what would it take to overpower these guys? And that, like, eventually it is just the raw power of it all.
Yeah. Because the thing that's, I think we'll get to in some bits of lore, we get to it a little bit in the Wraith. We definitely get into it in the Spirit, who is in the second chapter. Yeah, I think she's the second chapter. The second tome. Where, like, she is essentially made whole by the entity. Literally, because she was chopped into pieces. And therefore, her, like, half-life is fully fueled by the entity's powers. Same thing with Hag. Hag's body is made of mud and roots because she was eaten alive by cannibals. And the entity takes on the wrath and the anger from that. There's some H.P. Lovecraft level racism going on in Hag's backstory that we can dive into. I will say that.
Okay. I mean, we're doing Survivors first, though, and then
We're doing Tome 1 first, which is Claudette and then Trapper. And then there's Claudette, Trapper, and some Blight in that, but it's not playing as Blight because he's still a survivor in this tome. Facing the Hillbilly. This is store brand Leatherface, but better. Oh, we get to hear his awesome new music too. Oh, and we're in his realm. So this farm is oh, this is a really good the design of this world is so good. That's his chainsaw going. Of this one. Just the artistic design. So he can only run in straight lines with the chainsaw. Oh, he hit me. He did that. Ugh. So, when you're a killer, that corn really fucks with your viewpoint.
The what really fucked with your viewpoint?
The corn.
Oh.
It
Just
is,
because of the first-person perspective, making it difficult.
It's like literally running through, like as if you were really running for a cornfield. Oh. We distracted him for 2 gens. Oh, I need to get the perk. There's a perk that is specially focused for unhooking called Kindred, which whenever someone's on the hook allows me to... Oh, he has barbecue and chili. He went chain... Oh, never mind. He's right here. Is he camping? Ah, fuck! Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. Oh, fuck. What was that?
Oh, they hit him with a pallet. So we got 1 safe unhook from that, but the poor girl lost 2 lives.
Wait, how many lives do you get per round?
3.
Okay.
So remember, so if you're left on the hook for a minute,
You're just dead. Yeah.
if you're left on the hook for a minute, you lose a life, an extra life. So you lose a life on being hooked, and you lose another life if you're there for an extra minute, and then a 3rd life. But if you're unhooked before those minutes are up, then you can, the next time you're hooked, you go straight to the next. I scared you.
I see. Okay, I see what you mean about the corn stalks now for sure.
Yeah. So so when you're
Well,
on
that's such a that in and of itself is such a weird like. Or how do you think corn stalks and corn mazes became such like a
Texas Chainsaw, or like I think Texas Chainsaw and like the many like copycats it spawned. She's dead. That's the girl that we saved twice in a row.
oh she's done.
Unless someone can... So there's ways you can save them when the killer's carrying them. If they take too long to get to a hook, you can wiggle out of their arms. If you hit the killer with a pallet... Oh, fuck. Oh, she escaped. If you hit the killer with a pallet, while they're carrying someone, then they can get out. And if you blind the killer with a flashlight, then they can drop the survivor. Laurie Strode also has a perk that's kind of infamous called Decisive Strike, which it used to be whenever the killer picks her up, you just stab him and he drops you. You had to do you would have to do a skill check, but whenever the killer picks you up, you just stab him and he drops you. That bitch had she had Unbreakable, which means she could pick herself off the ground once. Or someone came and healed her. Oh, we almost out of here. So Hillbilly's considered like one of this, like if second or third best killer. I would say third best killer in the game because of his. Oh, he has a Mori. I forgot about that. Oh, he's trying to take them into the hook. This, that's a Fang Min. Or a Nia. I can't remember if it's a Fang Min or a Nia. The one girl who got hooked twice in a row. She's good despite the fact that she got hooked twice in a row.
Because she's escaping?
Yeah, she keeps like... It's a Nia. Alright, he's gonna go after that Nia. I'm gonna go heal this person on the ground. Oh. Or not. This is a Fang Min. It's Fang Min and Meg. I'm gonna go open a door. Oh, he's got it. Let me heal you. Let me heal you. Fine, be like that, Nia. That's a Meg. Oh, he's camping because the door's open. He's not gonna let her go.
Because he's already hooked her 3 times.
No, that's a new kill. That's a different. She hasn't been hooked before.
Oh, okay.
But because she hasn't been hooked, he's not about to let her go. So he's gonna camp. This. Some people would call this bad manners. I don't count it as bad manners. There's nothing you can do at this point.
You're just trying to get some.
Now we're just trying to get in the way. And try and
give him too many options.
Yeah. I'm trying to distract him. He gets loud noise notifications whenever that happens. Like a big explosion on his... And we got out.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the rescues that I needed, but I think that was a pretty good game. Those were not...
You unhooked somebody, though.
What? I did unhook somebody. I didn't unhook a lot of people. I unhooked 2 people. Cool. 2 more. I think we're gonna stick with
3
this.
out of 5 ain't bad.
I think we're gonna stick to this and not switch to Marble Hornets tonight because of all because of the technical difficulties. I'm having fun. And this will be good for good VOD content.
And I have to agree with you that I do enjoy watching this game be played.